Hello, it's 8 o'clock in Banjul. This is KOTV News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. And I am Julde Jai. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. China's embassy in the Gambia held a reception on Thursday in commemoration of the 74th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. Today, the 28th of September, is World Maritime Day, observed on the last Thursday of September, focusing on the importance of shipping safety, maritime security, and the marine environment. And we look at the challenges visually impaired people face in mobility amid stagnant water and potholes, among other obstructions in the rainy season. In international news, at least 11 people were killed after heavy rain and winds hit South Africa's Western Cape province, including Cape Town. And in sports news, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has revealed the pot seedlings ahead of the 12th of October official draw for the African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire early next year. Those were your headlines, and now the news in detail. Just tuning in, this is KOTV News and I am Julde Jai. Now, the 1st of October marks 74 years since the founding of the People's Republic of China. China's embassy in the Gambia commemorated the anniversary with a reception which was attended by invited guests from all walks of life. KOTV's Mamadou Lamin Choi was there, and this is his report.
In the afternoon of October 1st, 1949, in the Chinese capital Beijing at Tiananmen Square, a new nation was born. Led by the leader of the Chinese Communist Party, Mao Zedong, a military parade and hundreds of thousands of CPC members and supporters congregated where Mao solemnly proclaimed on Tiananmen Gate Tower the founding of the People's Republic of China. This came after a more than 2 decades-long bloody civil war in which the Communist Party of China defeated the then Nationalist Party of China to gain control of the country. Widely regarded as an occasion which goes down in history as a pivotal event, the founding of the People's Republic of China was a political turning point and a source of inspiration and hope for the Chinese people. 74 years on, China has witnessed one of the most unprecedented reforms and development in world history. The Chinese embassy in the Gambia is hosting a National Day event for the first time since the pandemic to commemorate the 74th anniversary. China's ambassador to the Gambia, Liu Xin, and his wife welcome guests to the event.
Over the past 74 years, China has gone through an extraordinary course of development and progress and has made remarkable achievements. We attribute these achievements to the strong leadership of the Chinese Communist Party, the road of socialism, which is suitable to Chinese reality and condition, the diligence and solidarity of Chinese people, and the support and assistance from the international communities.
In the 74 years of the CPC administration of China, the country has embarked on economic reforms and opening up, registering fruitful results such as the elimination of extreme poverty, building the world's largest education, social security, and health systems. While pursuing its domestic goals, China promotes mutual cooperation and common development for countries around the world. The results of China-Gambia friendship being an example. Ibrahim Asila, the Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, delivers a speech on behalf of the Foreign Affairs Minister.
Gambia-China cooperation has always been in the spotlight, with China funding projects in areas such as agriculture, infrastructure, capacity building, and most importantly, the energy sector, particularly the Greater Banjul Transmission and Distribution Project of NAWEC.
The China-Gambia relations, according to officials of both sides, is bound by mutual trust, respect, amity, and sincerity for mutual benefits.
China and Gambia are good friends and reliable partners. We respect each other, understand each other, support each other, help each other, and we appreciate each other.
Since the resumption of diplomatic ties in 2016, people-to-people exchanges and development cooperation between Banjul and Beijing have grown significantly. Alaji Babu Sise, the National Assembly member for Sabah Sanjal, was among dozens of National Assembly members who traveled to China for training this year.
Actually, we have seen that it is in a win-win situation, but I can say we benefit more than what China is benefiting from us. In both agriculture, health, infrastructure, education, you name it, so we are very much happy.
Moving forward, the Chinese government, under the leadership of Xi Jinping, is expanding its cooperation with countries by putting forward programs such as its new Global Civilization Initiative, as well as initiatives for security and global development to promote a community of shared future for mankind. Mohamed Lamin, KOTV News.
Happy 74th anniversary to the People's Republic of China. Now today, the 28th of September, is World Maritime Day. This year's theme is Marpole at 50. Our commitment goes on. Spotlights the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships. Janaba Sonko tells us more of that in this report.
Established by the United Nations in 1978, World Maritime Day is meant to raise awareness about the importance of the shipping industry and the vital contribution it makes to places all over the globe. According to the United Nations, international shipping transports more than 80% of global trade to peoples and communities all over the world. Shipping is the most efficient and cost-effective method of international transportation for most goods. It provides a dependable, low-cost means of transporting goods globally, facilitating commerce and helping to create prosperity among nations and people. This year's theme, Marpole at 50, Our Commitment Goes On, focuses on the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships. The Marpole Convention was adopted on 2nd November 1973. The Protocol of 1978 was adopted in response to a spate of tanker accidents in 1976 to 1977. The Gambia has a maritime administration body responsible for the development of the maritime industry and to ensure safety of navigation in Gambian waters. The administration has embarked on different activities, including a partnership with the NDMA and GWACAF for a national policy development for national response strategy to oil spillage. Also in 2022, the administration for the first time hosted the Gambia Maritime Administration Committee and the 4th Ministerial Conference to provide stronger and effective compliance mechanism for safer shipping for West and Central Africa. The Abuja Memorandum of Understanding is one of the 10 regional port state control regimes which aims to create cooperation among member states to effectively conduct inspection of shipping vessels according to accepted international standards. It was established 23 years ago and has a current membership of 18 countries. The 2023 theme reflects the International Maritime Organization's long history of protecting the environment from the impact of shipping via a robust regulatory framework and emphasizes its ongoing commitment to this important work. Recently, the Gambia and the GMA and partners hosted stakeholders training and policy to develop a national response strategy to oil spillage. Therefore, on International Maritime Day, we reflect on the need for increased efforts to protect the Gambia's seas from activities that may be disadvantageous to us as a country. Reporting for KOTV News, I am Jenna Basonko.
Now, during the rainy season, especially in the Gambia, visually impaired people face lots of challenges in navigating stagnant water and potholes, among other obstructions. KOTV's Lena Igwenyiba engaged the organization, and this is her report.
The biggest challenge for a visually impaired person, especially one with a complete loss of vision, is to navigate around places and objects. However, their capacity to navigate and interpret things unveil a unique perspective, underscoring the resilience of human adaptability and the extraordinary power of human senses. In our rain-soaked streets, full of potholes, Gerald Lamin, a teacher with the Gambia Organization for the Visually Impaired, GOVI, shares some of the challenges that the visually impaired face during the rainy season.
Most of these potholes normally have water, and then because of that, we normally face difficulties, some challenges. Even us walking, also it is also difficult for us to be coming to work. Easily every day. Also, when school reopens, also is another problem for us because our drivers cannot go through all those ways all those roads to be able to bringing children to and from school.
Gera Lamin further emphasizes how the white cane symbolizes independence and mastery of spatial awareness for blind individuals.
I mean, when you hold on the cane, you have some sense of feeling through the cane. I mean, and then you know that there is ditches or you are coming towards water or stagnant water.
Mr. Lamin underscores the pressing need for the availability of more white canes and appeals to the public and the government for support to create a more accommodating environment for the visually impaired.
The government also should try as much as possible to assist us also. We need more canes, that is this white cane. We need more cane to supply to our members or any person who are visually impaired. We need those canes so that also it will minimize the risk of during the rainy season.
Georgia Toure, treasurer at Govis Women's Wing, calls on the public to exhibit greater acceptance and extend assistance to the visually impaired during their journeys. Not just in the rainy season, navigating for the visually impaired is challenging. I implore the public to offer assistance. We are all part of the same community. Today it could be me, and God forbid, tomorrow it might be you. When you encounter a blind person, please lend a helping hand and guide them. Wherever you are, ensure your surroundings are accessible to everyone, whether sighted or blind. Weather-related emergencies and disasters are difficult enough to navigate, and people with visual impairment face a unique set of challenges. Plus, with support from the public, their lives could be made easier. Reporting for KOTV News, I am Lena E. Gwenyiba.
The report there takes us to a short commercial break. When we return, we have some more local, international, as well as sports news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
The Central Bank of the Gambia, having been requested by the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, will establish and nurture the Security Exchange Commission, Central Security Depository, and the Gambia Stock Exchange. His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, will officially launch the first capital market of the Gambia on Friday, 29 September 2023 at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center. Please join us to celebrate this significant milestone in the financial market landscape of our dear country, the Gambia.
Xadi li nga jëlee si Argentine moom macha allah.
yow man de yow ma Argentine laay dundee suma kër.
gis bi dafa ceeñ.
ceeñ masuta ceeñ.
waaw du gis ngeen daw si ba mu amee sikki sàkka ne Argentine mii dañoo wecci ay cafkaam ba ñu ko ubbilee siwo bi ba xet gi dugg ko cam billaahi la mu yëg bari na Argentine ñaar fukki at ak nangam ba mu ne cëpp ci réew mi ba tey mësula wecci doxalin mësula wecci cafka
bu leen ci am benn ñaari xel man mii di jaay lépp luy produit gi Argentine rek am naa ko am na 500 millilitres 1000 millilitres ak 5 kilos ba noppi nag am 750 ml bi nga xam ne mi ngi toj réew mi gis nga Argentine Eva Protect Milk bii mooy mos dolli te Argentine spaghetti bii ngay gis moo dàq ci spaghetti yi
gis nga Argentine bottom margarine bii noonu la gënee ci yow mi nga xamante ne yaa ngi jaay tàngane ci Johnson bi kombi fi Argentine la dugal sa waa ñoddi sa kombi bi gis ngeen lii sardañ la da nga gis boobu jën bi dafa neex gis nga meew ko ndig mil bii Argentine ko fi indi moom mi dafa sakkan xoolal xale bii nu muy naanee banana milk bi gis ngeen flamingo oil bii dem leen ci bépp boutique bépp supermarket ci bépp marché
Argentine ki prodogam kenn mënu koo ceeñ
Argentine boobu ndax moo di good quoi.
Back if you're just tuning in, this is KOTV News with me, Julde Njai. Now on Wednesday, 50 young journalists and civil society practitioners completed 2 days capacity building training on budget tracking and monitoring in a bid to better enhance fiscal transparency in the Gambia. Aliou Cisse attended, and this is his report.
The Gambia Participates is a civil society organization working to improve fiscal transparency and increase public participation in the national budget process and budget accountability, among other initiatives. It organized this budget tracking reporting training for this group of journalists and civil society representatives to better understand how program budgets could be tracked using the Follow the Money model. Mar Nyang, the executive director of Gambia Participates, explained that with the Follow the Money model, participants learn how to identify a government or donor-funded community project to track its progress and how successfully it is implemented.
Expectations are when all the materials and knowledge have been transferred to them, they're able to go back to their communities. Not only that, they're going to independently monitor using data and facts and evidences to ensure there is accountability and community development, but then also they could actually transfer the knowledge to their cohorts within their communities to ensure that they can actually mobilize themselves, follow the money, track budget programs, and ensure that the developments that are supposed to be enjoyed by their communities from the government budget are actually implemented on time.
Many of these participants are young journalists and civil society actors and student journalists. Ajiman Jan, a journalism student at the University of the Gambia, and Madani Juf, co-founder and president of Education and Youth Empowerment in Jarasoma, thank Gambia Participates for the opportunity to take part in the training, which they said has broadened their knowledge on how to track budget implementation.
It has been an extremely very good training for us, especially as journalists and CSOs, and I believe it will go a long way in helping not just the people that are here, but the people that are also in this area in getting the information out to the people that need to help in this area.
With this knowledge, with the knowledge that I have, I know if I go back to my community, I have an organization that I am running. I believe that I will do a step down training and then help tell them about the program that I have learned and what I have learned and how to utilize them, and then also try to be very bold and then be responsible citizens, because this thing is actually, definitely I know maybe because of resources, Gambia Participates could not do it for everyone, but then Alhamdulillah, I'm fortunate to be part of it, and I'm sure that my community also will be very, very proud because I will do a step down training for them.
The training is funded by the U.S. Embassy Banjul office under an 18-month project worth $500,000 called Strengthening and Sustaining Fiscal Transparency and Accountability in the Gambia. Also, under this project, Gambia Participates partnered with the Ministry of Finance on simplifying budget understanding and trained National Assembly members on budget oversight, among other initiatives. Participants left the training equipped with the knowledge of how to carry out their work in tracking budget implementation. Reporting for KOTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Now to some international news stories. Now the official draw for the African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire next year is less than 3 weeks away. All the teams, including the Gambia, making their second appearance with anticipation, the Confederation of African Football (CAF) has revealed the pot seeding ahead of the 12th of October official draw. Let's have more details of that in this report.
The seeding is based on the latest FIFA rankings, with Pot 1 containing host Cote d'Ivoire, together with the highest ranked nations, Morocco, who was semi-finalist at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar 2022, current African champions Senegal, 2004 champions Tunisia, 2019 champions Algeria, and record time champions Egypt. Pot 2 has the second 6 highest ranked countries comprising Nigeria, Cameroon, Mali, Burkina Faso, Ghana, and DR Congo. In Pot 3, tiny island nation Cape Verde, making their 4th AFCON appearance, will be joined by Zambia, South Africa, Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, and Mauritania. As one of the lowest ranked qualifiers, the Scorpions of the Gambia are in Pot 4, alongside near neighbors Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique, Namibia, Angola, and Tanzania. The official draw will be held in Abidjan on 12 October at 11 p.m. local time. The Gambia will be making their second consecutive AFCON appearance. The first was in Cameroon, where they exited at the quarter-final stage against host Cameroon following a 2-0 loss, which marked an exceptional show to the surprise and delight of spectators and commentators. The Scorpions qualified for the next continental tournament from Group G with 10 points, behind Mali, who won the group with 15 points, while South Sudan and Congo finished bottom of the group with 7 and 3 points respectively. Coach Tom Saintfield's side won 3 games, 1-0 against Mali, played in Casablanca, Morocco. 3-2 away against South Sudan, played in Egypt. And 2-1 in the return leg, played in Morocco. They lost 2 games, 2-0 to Mali in the first leg in Bamako and 1-0 to Congo in Brazzaville before drawing 2-2 in their final game in Marrakesh, Morocco, a result which sent them through at the expense of Congo. The Gambia were forced to play their home qualifiers away due to the ban on the country's only stadium. The government is currently renovating the stadium to meet CAF required standards. Last week, Sports Minister Bakary Waibaji told lawmakers that much work has been accomplished, but that there is still some work to be done, and will not give a definite deadline when the stadium will be ready for use. Bakary K. Jammeh, first Vice President of the Gambia Football Federation, welcomed the qualification as another milestone for Gambian football. He attributes the achievements to years of planning and collective effort on and off the pitch under the leadership of GFF President Lamin Kababajo.
I want to congratulate every Gambian, from the head of state, our minister, our religious leaders, our political leaders, heads of family, young and old, for the great support they have been rendering to the Gambia national team and the Gambia Football Federation since 2014 when we took over the reins of football.
The Scorpions will return to competitive action in November 2023 when they play Burundi and Ivory Coast in the 2026 World Cup qualification. They will go into the qualifiers with high morale, even though they might continue to play their home matches away from home. Reporting for KOTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
We apologize for that technical error earlier, and now to some international news stories. Now, at least 11 people were killed after heavy rain and winds hit South Africa's Western Cape province, including Cape Town, over the weekend, causing a lot of destruction, according to the authorities. Let's have more details of that in this report. The destructive weather, which has caused so much damage in the Western Cape, flooded homes, tore off roofs, destroyed crops and damaged roads and other infrastructure. Authorities in South Africa warn that the death toll may rise as the flood water subsides. According to the BBC, rescue teams are still searching for people who are feared trapped in their partially submerged homes. 8 of the 11 people who died were electrocuted in an informal settlement when waters swam illegal connections to the power lines. 72 primary school students and 10 adults were trapped in a resort in the town of Utso after a nearby river overflowed. They were later rescued after the water subsided. More than 80 roads were closed and 1,000 homes were cut off from the power grid, the country's electricity minister said. The City of Cape Town Mayor Geodin Hill-Lewis has signed a major incident declaration appealing for additional resources and relief measures to deal with the aftermath of the rainfall. The city has also closed the popular nature reserve and Gush hiking route to assess the impact of the floods. Anton Bredel, a provincial cabinet minister in charge of environmental affairs, said that helicopters were searching for people who had been trapped and the worst is expected. The damaging rains, which ended on Monday, came a week after larger than normal spring tides hit the area. Climate change has been blamed for some of the recent weather-related incidents in South Africa. In April of last year, flooding led to the death of more than 430 people in South Africa's province of KwaZulu-Natal. The flood in South Africa came as on the other side of the continent as Libya grapples with the impact of what is described as the worst flood recorded in North Africa in recent years. The entire city of Derna has been devastated after a heavy downpour, causing at least 5,000 confirmed deaths, 10,000 more are reportedly missing, and more than 30,000 people have been displaced in the city, once home to over 100,000 people. For QTV News, I am Julden Yai. Well, that story there brings us to the end of this news bulletin. Here is a recap of the headlines. China's embassy in the Gambia on Thursday held a reception in commemoration of the 74th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. And today, the 28th of September, is World Maritime Day, observed on the last Thursday of September, focusing on the importance of shipping safety, maritime security, and maritime environment. We looked at how the challenges visually impaired people faced in mobility amid stagnant water and potholes, among other obstructions in the rainy season. In international news, at least 11 people were killed after heavy rain and winds hit South Africa's Western Cape province, including Cape Town. And in sports news, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has revealed the pot seedings ahead of the 12th of October official draw for the African Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire early next year. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Many thanks indeed for the pleasure of your company, and do have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.